Arctic capabilities and to continue to protect our country's significant interests in this region. As the Coast Guard's Arctic Strategic Outlook notes, seawater temperature rise has already begun to affect the migration pattern of fish stocks in the Arctic, creating new risks of illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing that can undermine our efforts to maintain healthy fish stocks. I'm proud that the U.S. brokered the Central Arctic Ocean Agreement to prevent overfishing in the Arctic with a joint effort for scientific monitoring of fish migration in this region. In addition to a moratorium on unregulated fishing, this effort will help to establish a scientific baseline measure for the Arctic Ocean ecosystem so we can measure the effects of climate change and fisheries activity. But Admiral, these are just good intentions without the resources we need to protect American interests in the Arctic, both to enforce fishery laws and to conduct this important research. Admiral, can you tell us how the Coast Guard is working to support these scientific and fisheries enforcement missions now? And what capabilities the service is investing in to ensure that we carry out these initiatives in the years going forward?
Sir, we support the science efforts of NOAA and NMFIS and others with regards to understanding the fish stocks in the Bering and North. And we also work with the other Arctic nations to understand their assessment of fisheries, progress and their perspective on the fisheries. I think the bottom line is the Coast Guard has maintained a presence in the Bering Sea continuously in my lifetime, and focus on fisheries, focused on enforcing fisheries. There was a time a few years ago when we were nose to nose with the Russians over the fisheries in the Bering Sea. We cooperate much better now than we did a few years ago. So we have a presence, we understand the fisheries, and we move our forces to be in a position to surveil and to, in some cases, rescue the fishermen that are working in those regions.
I was just wondering, following up on the last part, what are the capabilities that the service now is investing in to ensure that we carry out these initiatives in the future? Could you kind of tell us a little bit about exactly what you're investing in, what are the capabilities to carry out this venture in the future?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks to this committee, we talked about the Polar Security Cutter. That will provide a platform to do fisheries enforcement from anywhere in the Arctic. The second thing is national security cutters, which we've been building for several years and have had great effect on our enforcement missions. We will be home porting 2 offshore patrol cutters in Kodiak that'll have the reach to go all the way up to the ice edge. And they're not ice cutters, but they will have the ability to get to the ice edge. So, and then H-60 helicopters, we are once again, thanks to this, we are actually growing the fleet of those H-60 helicopters to be able to reach out to get to the fishermen. And our H-65 helicopters, we're extending the service life of those. Those are the ones that embark on our ships in the Arctic and in the Bering Sea.
Thank you, Admiral, and I yield back.